Guys, I sure come at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video, guys. I'm glad to have you here. Send some positive vibes your way, especially if you need them today. Today, we're going to talk about, this is actually a popular request by you guys in the comments below. If you have any video ideas, something you're dying to know, something you'd like to see ranked, whatever it may be, go ahead and let me know, guys. I get all my best ideas from you guys trying to deliver what you like to watch here on the channel. So anyway, we're going to do the top 10 companion champions or partner champions. Don't confuse this with the best combos in Raid necessarily, although these are some of the best combos too. These are champions that have something extra when they're paired with another champion on the same team. So these are the companion or partner champions, I think is what they're technically called inside the game. I want to start off by asking you guys a question. Do you like partner champions in the game? We just had two released recently that just barely didn't make the top 10, but definitely deserve an honorable mention, and that would be in like Jetney the Giant, how she has, when Alsgor, Crimson Horde is on the same team, you know, her kit is a lot better, essentially, right? So do you like when they do that, or do you not like when you do that? Me? I don't know, it's a tricky one. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. Let me put it this way. If the champions are really good and I have them, I like it. If not, I don't.
That's an interesting way of putting. That makes sense.
Generally speaking, though, I don't love the idea of champions being somewhat worthless, like in my opinion, poor Jetney, unless they're with another champion. I like them to be able to stand on their own 2 feet, but there are companion champions who are incredible all by themselves, and there'll be plenty of them on the list as well. So when I was ranking these champions out, I'm going to go from 10 to 1. The main thing is that, like, I'm ranking how much better they get when they're on the same team, but also just how powerful they are as a tandem as well. So number 10 on the list, beating out Alsgor and Jetney, is going to be Sylvan Watcher, at least one of them, and that is Oella. Oella and Altan of the Shell. So Oella is a pretty cool champion. I didn't go for her. I do not have her, but I kind of wish I did. She's kind of pretty cool, right? She's got the decreased speed on the A1. It can't be resisted if Altan of the Shell is on the same team. She has an AoE heal, 30% of their max HP, and also increase the duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn, and then fills the turn meters and increase resistance on the A3 and on 3-turn cooldown. Also, check this out. Places a continuous heal for 2 turns on that ally and then instantly activates it if Altan of the Shell is on the same team. Can occur once per enemy turn. So that's whenever an ally loses 15% or more HP from a single hit. Places a continuous heal, right? So now it's 2 turns, 1 instantly activated. That's a really strong power-up, if you will, from that passive. So overall, Oella, to me, is a really cool champion. She's going to be great in Faction Wars coming very soon. So what's Altan of the Shell all about? So I actually do have this dude, Altan, and where the heck is he? There he is, right in front of my face. I have him, and boy, I'm not impressed. He is the, let's just put it this way, Oella wears the pants in this relationship. What? Sorry, Altan. I'm sorry, man. Don't look at me like that, dude. Stop. On the A1, attacks 1 enemy 2 times. We ignore defense. Each hit also ignores 50% of the target's resistance if Oella is on the same team. Okay, this dude does hit pretty hard. I'll give him that, and he ought to because his kit kind of sucks if he didn't. On the A2, 3-turn cooldown, removes all debuffs from this champion, how selfish, heals this champion, and then places a shield on this champion. Random, dumb ability. I'm not a big fan, can you tell, Altan of the Shell? But when you put them together, they're definitely crazy, right? Finally, it even says finally. You know it's a long-winded skill when they're like, finally, whew. Anyway, on the A3, it's an AoE attack with a sleep. Ignore 50% of the target's resistance if Oella is on the same team. So that's nice too. You want to like open up in the arena, putting them to sleep or something like that, you know. And then has a 15% chance of decreasing the cooldown of one of this champion's skills by 1 turn every time they're healed by a continuous heal. The chance increases by to 30% if Oella is on the same team. That has obvious synergy between both of those passives. The instant activation of continuous heal. In Oella, he's got a 30% chance of decreasing the cooldown of one of these champion's skills. I have to say, good, bad champion by himself, I think, but decent with her, and she is actually pretty good. Number 9 on the list, guys, is going to be, one of my old faves. It's Coronar, the criminally underrated Void Legendary Skinwalker. I love this dude, man. He's first 27k on the base HP, first of all. An AoE on the A1, decreased turn meter, attacks all enemies 2 times instead of 1, and decreases the turn meter to 100% if Manai is on the same team. That's a massive boost on his A1, 2 times with turn meter on each time. 100% chance, man. That's a very, very good A1 when Manai is on the same team, guys. Then we have an AoE provoke on a 3-turn cooldown, block debuffs, increased defense on this champion, removes all debuffs from this champion before placing the block debuffs and increased resistance if Manai is on the same team. And then he has an AoE, decrease attack, decrease defense debuff on targets under decrease attack, and then counterattacks every time he's hit if Manai is on the same team. Man, oh man. You know what? After rereading this, guys, honestly, after rereading this and pondering it a little bit more, I'm thinking they might be snubbed at number 9. The problem is I'm not a massive fan of Manai. So again, Coronar to me is incredible, but you know, he's incredible by himself too, right? But the thing is, you can get a lot extra when you put Manai on the same team. Manai has a continuous heal on the A1, ally with lowest HP. She's got a single target heal here, okay, whatever. And then she has an AoE heal, 40% of their max HP on a 4-turn cooldown, block debuffs for 2 turns on champions under increased defense buffs. Okay, it's not a bad healing support kit. She's fast at least, right? Got a lot of HP, or excuse me, yeah, got a lot of HP, decent amount of defense. Fills the turn meter of all allies by 20% when this champion is killed, okay? Revives this champion 75% HP when killed if Coronar's on the same team. 4-turn cooldown on that. Man, they're a really good combo. They really are. I need to make a video on those two together. All right, coming in at number 8 on the list, guys. At number 8 is going to be really one of the most powerful champions inside the entire game. It is Yumeko and her boyfriend, Corrado.
But he's mine!
I was literally just getting his number.
Oh, I don't care.
Both of you guys can share.
So Yumeko first, guys, we already know Wear Claws, it hits pretty hard for a support champion, decreased turn meter as well, fantastic. And then on the Destiny's Mirror, I'm not going to read the entire thing, but it's reflecting debuffs back from enemies under Hex. And then whenever somebody fills the turn meter of an enemy under a Hex debuff placed by this champion's turn meter will be filled instead. That's a nasty little addition when Corrado's on the same team, right? And then on the passive, whenever a Veil or Perfect Veil buff is placed on an enemy, has a 75% chance of stealing the buff. This happens before the buff is placed on the initial target, but it's only available when Corrado is on the same team. And of course, we know Yumeko has Dance of Time, the decreased cooldown, and increased cooldowns all at the same time. Fabulous, fabulous kit, amazing champion. But Corrado, I've always liked Corrado. The reason they're ranked number 8 and not number 4 or 3 or whatever on the list is because he's a triple hitter with weakened, fantastic. He's got a stun for 2 turns, amazing. Grants an extra turn, resets the cooldown of the skill if Yumeko is on the same team, and this skill kills an enemy. Well, it has decent multipliers, but it's not killing him all the time, right? But either way, it's a nice add-on. The 2-turn stun in and of itself is really special and very, very cool, right? There's only a couple champions in the game who have a 2-turn stun. And then on the suppression ward, it can't be resisted to block active skills if Yumeko's on the same team. That's really good as well, and it hits hard. The only issue I have, and the reason we don't see them run together that often, sometimes in niche teams, is it's very redundant to place a block active skills, even if it can't be resisted. First of all, it can still be cleansed, right? But even so, Yumeko's already putting their skills on cooldown anyway, right? So it's a little redundant for a companion for partner champions in my mind at least. What about you guys? Whenever Yumeko dies, instantly grants a turn to this champion, resets the cooldown of each of this champion's skills. I will say, that's a really nasty addition as well to stoicism. I'm gonna be real with you guys before I prepped for today's video because I don't run them together that often. I forgot about this last part and I'm like, wow, dude, that's pretty nasty. Maybe I will run them together a little bit more, right? Hopefully this inspires some of you guys as well. Coming in at number 10, 9, 8, 7. Okay. Learn to count, Ash. Learn to count. One of these days. I'm still working on it at the ripe old age of 40. Skullcrown Sinesha, man. I mean, the thing about these two champions are, sure, they're epics, and I think they're the only epics on the list, with all apologies to Romero and Talia and everybody else. AoE on the A1 that has the opposite of Senesha. Places an extra hit on targets with more than 50% HP. Senesha's is extra hit on targets with less than 50% HP. They're the perfect dynamic duo for Blender comps. I just released a Blender video with both these champions on my mini account. I'm so happy I have that team now, guys. I'm so happy. So maybe I'm a little biased. Maybe I'm jacking up their ranking a little bit too much, but I love it. And then Revise this champion with 30% HP, only available when Senesha's on the same team. Okay, so 2 strong AoEs. And then Senesha's got a great heal on her A3. She's got a put target skills on cooldown on the A2. And then the AoE, the opposite of the AoE, again, as we spoke about on the A1. Now, oddly enough, and the reason they're not maybe a little bit higher on the list, guys, is she doesn't have anything extra. You know, Senesha. She does have that synergy on the A1, but that's about it. It'd be cool if she had a little extra bonus when Skullcrown's on the same team as well. But the cool thing is their kits actually naturally fit together very, very well, even regardless of that. All right, number 6 on the list, guys. This is going to be one of those rankings that's just based on, I guess, more on the power of the champions versus them as a tandem, even though them as a tandem is incredible, and it's Cardiel and Sissia. Cardiel and Sissia on the A1, heal all allies, right? Fantastic stuff. A cleanse, a block debuffs, a revive on death that's protected on a 3-turn cooldown, an ally attack. He's got it all. He's got increased crit rate, increased crit damage on his ally attack. Great for the arena. Him and Ferric and the Fat are my favorite ally attackers in Longbeard for the arena specifically, but great anywhere in the game, let's be real. And then he has always join Sissia Flametongue's attacks if they're on the same team. Can only join one ally's attack per turn. He will not team up with other allies, blah, blah, blah. But hey, he's always joining up with Sissia's A1. Sissia has a strong triple hitter on her A1, and he has a single target hitter, but he's got that true fear against certain factions and that heal. So every time she attacks, everybody gets a heal, and we play some true fears if we target a Demon Spawn, Undead Horde, Knights Revenant, which are very popular in the meta in the game right now. So man, great synergy there on Cardiel. It's kind of like every time, well, I don't want to allude to further in the list. I was going to compare them to other champions that are further up on the list here. But I mean, both Sissia Flametongue and Cardiel are 2 of the better champions in their own categories. Cardiel in ally attack, cleanse, support, he does it all, healer, whatever. And then Sissia in damage, dealers, in burn, and activation. Okay, she got a triple hitter with the increased duration of HP burn on her A1. You got the AoE, decreased defense, weaken if there are at least 2 enemies under HP burn on the decreased defense, then instantly activates any HP burns on each target and decreases the duration of those HP burns by 1 turn. On the A3, she's placing the HP burns, granting an extra turn if the HP burn is placed on all enemies. And then if Cardiel is on the same team, all allies will heal by 3% of their max HP from HP burn debuffs instead of receiving damage and losing HP. Okay, is it the best companion ability inside the entire game? No. And in hindsight, maybe you can make the argument that Coronar, Manai, Corrado, and Yumeko could be bumped up maybe a little bit in exchange for them, but they had to be on the list because, again, as I mentioned at the top of this video, guys, it's just the overall power index of these 2 champions in their own right. And then you put them together, they're even better. They get even more benefits. So I'm a fan of Sissia and Cardiel. Now that we're halfway through the list, I want to give a couple honorable mentions, guys. One of them is going to be Ryan the Conjurer and Uros the Soul Cage, right? And Akoth the Seer is a 3-way thing they got going on, a little love triangle here.
In a love triangle.
That is not it.
But basically, they also get revived, right, when they're on the same team. And there's some cool synergy there. You can take a look at the rest of the kits. They're all Doom Tower champions. I kind of like when they give free champions or Doom Tower champions companion or partner abilities. That's pretty cool. And I also wanted to give a shout out to the only rare tandem that was even close to touching this list. It's Seducer. He has this ability, Selfless Partner, ally protection, big version on all allies, and a block damage on himself that's only available when Temptress is on the same team. I have to say, Seducer gets a massive power upgrade when he's on the same team as Temptress. The only problem is Temptress really sucks. A quad hitter with Leech that doesn't hit hard, and increase crit rate, increase attack, and grants an extra turn if Seducer's on the same team. So he just couldn't make the list. All right, back to the list, guys. We have the newly buffed Bellinor, and he's a high elf Ash. Bellinor, dude, he is a beast of a champion. Now he's got the AoE decreased defense and the weaken, and they can't be resisted when Zavia is on the same team. Sign me up, and a perfect veil as well. But check out Tactical Partner. Whoa, this is good. Activates this champion's overkill skill. It just simply activates. That's the A3, hits so hard, like 6.5, 6.8 multiplier, something high on this. My lovely editor, Sam, will add that in, I'm sure. But it deals a lot of damage, right? Instantly activates this champion's overkill skill. Also activates Zavia's Poison Rain skill when Zavia's on the same team. Dude, that is so strong. That's amazing. Let's go ahead and take a look at Zavia here. Zavia, tomato. I don't know, guys. Zavia.
Zavia.
What do you think? Zavia?
Whatever you like.
Huh? Poison Rain. Instantly activates it. Attacks all enemies 2 times. Each hit has a 75% chance of placing a big version of poison for 2 turns. Wow, this is a strong instant activation, right? Off of Bellinor. And then, of course, she's got the Deadly Catalyst, the Block Revive, the instant dealing of all poison damage, and then attacks one enemy, applies a debuff spread effect, taking 4 random debuffs from the target, placing them on all enemies, only available when Bellinor is on the same team. So a little debuff spread action if we want it, if we need it in her kit, and this ability is only available Calamitous partner if her partner's on the squad. All right, coming in at number 4, guys. Ooh, you might say this is too high up on the list, but I would argue this might be too low on the list, guys. I love this combo, and it's Constantine the Dayborn and Vlad the Nightborn. Constantine is a monster of a champion. He's one of my favorite nukers out there in the game, and AoE times 2. Certainly one of my favorite attack-based nukers in the game. I put him up there, honestly, with a Nithwi, with Candyman, with maybe not quite as high as Jirgid, but like he's really freaking good, guys. He really is. If you haven't tried him since his buff, give him a shot, man. Attacks all enemies 2 times. Each hit will ignore 10% of the target's defense for every leech. Decrease defense, block active skills. Quietude hits so hard. Another 6+ multiplier on this ability. He's stealing all buffs from the target as well, then transferring all debuffs from this champion to the target, and then decreasing the cooldown by 2 turns if it kills an enemy from 3 turns. And then all enemies killed by this champion cannot be revived when Vlad the Nightborn is on the same team. There's only one champion in the entire game that has a deny revival on all enemies killed by this champion, and his name is a Nithwi Blood Twin, and I'll tell you what, Constantine the Dayborn hits so much harder. There you go. I mean, incredible stuff. And then Vlad is actually very good, in my opinion, after his buff. I wouldn't say S tier, but I would say A tier on this dude. He has an AoE leech, 3-turn cooldown, 100% chance of stealing turn meter from champions under Bannerlord, Sacred Order, High Elf, and then decreasing the turn meter if not stolen. Shh. Or if not one of those factions. It's a great ability, man. And then the AoE, decreased defense, and block active skills, and a perfect veil on a 3-turn cooldown. Yes! And then, fully heals this champion, fills their turn meter by 50% every time they kill an enemy, available when Constantine the Dayborn's on the same team. Vlad and Constantine together, man, they can do some incredible things. We got the debuffs, we got lockouts, we got deny revivals, we've got leeches, we've got stealing turn meter all over the place. What a dynamic duo. If you're struggling on high levels of Doom Tower, put these 2 champions on the same team and just sit back and watch. It's great. All right, next up, guys, is going to be Venus and Cupidus. Oh yes, an AoE decreased defense and weaken on the A2, an AoE HP burn on the A3, poison on the A1. She's got it all, man. One of the best debuffers / damage dealers in the game. Really standing alongside Bellinor, probably arguably a little bit better. I love Venus. She's amazing in Arena. She's amazing in Hydra. She's amazing in any dungeon in the game. She's Void Affinity after all. Removes all buffs from all enemies with a 50% chance of granting an extra turn when Cupidus is on the same team. What? That is a strong-ass ability, man. Cupidus. Well, listen, an AoE here that does a lot of damage on the A1. Keep that in the bank. An AoE on the A2 with the HP burn. And then a big, heavy hitter. More importantly, he's bringing his own increased attack for 2 turns as well before the hit, which is just tremendous, right? Sometimes it's tough to get that increased attack champion on every team, right? But inflicts 25% more damage and always counterattacks when attacked. That means he's going in with a strong AoE every time he's hit with more damage, only available when Venus is on the same team. Oh my word, dude. Number 2 on the list, guys, is going to be, that's right, Taurus still evading me, excuse me. Avoiding? Maybe. Got something against me, Taurus? Say it now, man. Say it now.
I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, drop dead.
Okay. Yeah, Taurus and Mariska, man. I could have put them number 1. I just think that whoever I did choose at number 1, surprise, I'm sure you're all on the edge of your seats, right? I think that they might be a little bit more viable outside the arena than this tandem, but yeah, I don't know, that's arguable too. They're amazing. It could be a tie. Who knows? Either way, guys, this dude does it all. He hits very hard, 2-turn stun. We talked about there's only a few champions. I think it's only Taurus, Corrado, and Jinro the Stork. I think I'm forgetting Indricia. Does she have one too? Maybe I'm forgetting a couple others. Either way, whenever an enemy attacks Mariska the Unbreakable, attack that enemy using this skill. This is A2, not as A1. It's as hard-hitting A2 with a 2-turn stun. What the heck? That's a very strong passive indeed. A big nuke and constant pressure. And then he's got the annoying passive number 1 and annoying passive number 2, right? But most importantly, right, he's got the reduced damage by 50%. This ability, always attacking when Mariska's on the same team is just insane. And then Mariska, well, if Taurus the Fierce is on the same team, they will always be the one to join this attack. So whenever she attacks, Taurus is going to join in. It's incredible, man. I mean, it sucks and it's awesome. So whenever she attacks, Taurus joins in with the A1, right? Whenever somebody attacks her, Taurus hits with the A2. Oh, it's so annoying in the arena, man. I'm telling you, one of the best heals in the game. 40% of this champion's max HP on everybody, a big shield, a protected strengthen, turn meter fill, more turn meter fill, extra turn if more than 5 debuffs are removed, and then the annoying and amazing passive revives everybody when she dies, plays a block damage every time a poison bomb or HP burn is received on an enemy. Just amazing kits, guys. They don't get incredibly better when on the same team, but boy, those two ally joining in the attacks or using that second attack in the case of Taurus, it's hard to think of a better, just more annoying arena dynamic duo than those two, right? All right. Of course, it's Siphi Rodos, guys. I mean, the coolest thing about Siphi Rodos to me is decrease the damage taken from bosses by 15%, decrease the damage taken from bosses by 30% if Siphi's on the same team. Okay, that's not it. That's not the coolest thing. But it's a nice little bonus, right? I think that's Rodos's main companion bonus. Obviously, he hits incredibly hard. He charges up with more HP. He's an HP-based champion. Attack and HP, build him with a lot of HP, get big nukes. We get the Deny Revival when he's fully charged up, ignoring unkillable, block damage, a chance of an extra turn on the A1 with a decreased defense, one of the hardest hitting single target nukers inside the entire game. He's amazing. And then Siphi's passive, even though it affects Rodos, it's on her passive. Either way, removes all debuffs from Rodos the Lost Groom at the start of their turn if they're on the same team. So you can't do anything to Rodos. You can't stun him. You can't do anything. You can't stun him. You can't sleep him. You can't decrease attack him. You can't decrease defense. You can't do anything to Rodos when Siphi's on the same team. She's always going to cleanse him. He is unCCable. He's un-anythingable, debuffingable. He's amazing. And Siphi is too. She's the number 1, close to the number 1 win percentage in Gold Tag Team Arena. One of the most banned champions in all of Arena, up there with Warlord and Yumeko. That says a lot about Siphi. She's the first person picked in Gold where you can't have duplicate champions. And she's amazing. Block debuffs, turn meter fill, increased defense, increased speed, a great revival with a full turn meter. Just one of the best support champions in the game. She's super fast. Necret, stop trying to get in the video, dude. She's super fast, 1-14 speed, and the most annoying and coolest part of her kit if she's on your team or the enemy's team is the unresistible sleep. It allows you to control the match unlike she's the allure of PvP with the best control that's unresistible on that A1 with the sleep. You can just play that to your advantage and just lock out an enemy team. Stop their reviver from reviving, stop their nuker from nuking, whatever it may be. So Siphi and Rodos take the cake as number 1 partners in the game. Who did I snub? Who did I leave out that you're a big fan of? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and as always, take care, guys.